You are the media now. This is a recent tweet or X from Elon Musk after the 2024 US presidential election. Now, what does this mean for modern creators, marketers, and aspiring media companies? Let's talk about that. So whether it's been in presidential elections all around the world or other forms of mass media, legacy established companies, media companies like CNN, Fox News, you name it, have been mainstream. They're the legacy news outlets where people wanted to be interviewed on, because that is authority building. Here you are on TV. But as TV and technology has evolved to be online as really the first place people choose to consume their news, their information, and to get educational and entertainment content, let alone streaming platforms, which are all over the place, we've seen the shift from traditional media to modern media, where modern media looks like influencers, creators, and independent media companies like you. So whether you are a business, an entertainer, a creator, whatever background you come from, you have the ability to get your voice and message out to more people using video first content. So on YouTube and on other channels to deliver your message, to sell your products and services. No longer are there gatekeepers getting in your way. Now, as we've seen this impact the recent US presidential election, we saw that Trump showed up on over a dozen podcasts of independent media with a YouTube first distribution, and he generated well over 100 million YouTube views alone, where Kamala Harris appeared on about 4 podcasts and generated just over 20 million YouTube views. So that contrast and that investment of time and attention really paid off for the Trump campaign, where they won the election, which is why some have coined it the podcast election, where those like Trump or JD Vance or Elon Musk, among others on his campaign or cabinet, have invested time and attention to independent media sources, modern media sources versus legacy, where Kamala put a lot of her time and attention. Now, what does this mean for you? And why are you the media now? It's because people are turning their trust and attention to new forms of media and losing trust on legacy or older forms of news, partly because it's not bipartisan anymore, or it's very biased on the news and, quote, truth that you receive. And truth can be subjective based on who is viewing and your belief systems. Not that you have to be polarizing, which politics has become very polarizing, but your message does need to stand out. And you need to take a stand for what you believe in, not from a religious or political standpoint per se, but simply on how you can impact more people's lives with your message, your products, your resources and services. So as a business looking to become a media company, which means you have consistent daily content being delivered online and offline to your ideal target audience, this allows you to stay top of mind with even niche audiences. You don't need to get those millions upon millions of views versus maybe a couple hundred or a couple thousand to really get down into a target. So versus going wide, go deep with getting your message with video content, with media in front of your target audience. And this is the way to go for modern businesses to truly stand out and to be in business for the long haul. And one important strategy with content that worked with the recent election is the investment of long form video content, especially for podcasts, where Trump and others gave of their time doing 2 to 3 hour long form interviews unedited, basically, which is insane to me. That amount of time without much break for bathroom, food, just a breather. I know for me, being an introvert, that can be exhausting at times. However, you got to get past that. I think there's an opportunity for people seeking more authenticity and human connection. And so the uncut, unedited style of conversation really allows others to see behind the curtain. It's less polished, less corporate, and people can go direct to the source, whether they love it or not, to get information and to connect with a message or a person or a brand. So consider longer form content for YouTube, for TikTok, for the channel that your audience is spending their time online. And then, of course, you can repurpose, recut, and redistribute shorter forms of that long form content you do. And you can do interviews, podcasts with featured guests in your industry or outside with perspectives for your niche audiences. Or you may have solo episodes for thought leadership, kind of like this video. Put in the time to share valuable information. And value, especially for the B2B world and even B2C, is where education content comes first. Entertainment is great to hook people and to build bigger audiences. Think the Mr. Beasts of the world, where they are entertainment focused. Their product is content. They're selling their content and the attention. Where if you're in a business and you're selling a product or service, your product or service is not necessarily the content, where you can educate them on the value of your message, of your products and your services, showing a deep understanding of what's keeping someone stuck in their business or in their life. And the more you show your understanding of their pain points and problems, what keeps them up at night, the more that your ideal audience will see that you have the solution. So spend the time to build this trust. Think about some of your best relationships in life, business, and especially personal. A lot of those relationships are born out of the love language of time. You've invested time with these people, with these families, with these friends in order to build up a deeper connection and an understanding of each other. Your audience is craving for the same thing with you and your company. The more you can give of your time and attention and build up that love language of time, then people will build up trust in you and be willing to invest their own time back into your content and your media. So combine a small mix of entertainment with education and make edutainment style content. Now let's go back to Elon Musk's recent tweet where he says, "You are the media now." Sure, many of you may see Elon Musk as a controversial character and person in media and beyond, which, yeah, he is, right? He says polarizing things. And now as the owner of X, or formerly Twitter, he has a platform to share his message to even more people. One thing I find very interesting is that he's become a big proponent of free speech, allowing people to say things that you may agree or disagree with. By opening up platforms like Twitter, X, or other platforms for people to say things you don't necessarily agree with across the board, across categories like religion, politics, culture, business, that can be okay, right? Because if you don't agree with it, then you may not be the target audience. But having this open, decentralized platform of information allows you to identify what is true or not for yourself. So as uncomfortable or maybe annoying as it may be at times, this open access to media and information, I believe, is very important. And in what allows businesses like you to become truly media companies, modern media companies, not hoping and relying just on legacy mainstream media to give you the spotlight and the time of day to get the attention you think you need, having to land that maybe Super Bowl commercial type level experience or exposure, but allowing a consistent dialogue and conversation with your target audience on a daily basis. That's what's key here, is that the tools, the solutions, the systems to do this are more accessible now more than ever. Okay, so with this, how can businesses like yours become media companies? Think of brands like Red Bull. This is a bigger example where Red Bull started off and still is an energy drink company. They're a beverage company. But do we think of their beverage or do we think of their entertainment, high adrenaline, sports related content? That's what I think of. You get all of these top performers doing crazy stunts in sports and otherwise all around the world with Red Bull as major branding across, say, the planes or the uniforms, or whatever it may be. And a byproduct of that experience, that entertainment content, is Red Bull, the energy drink. It's showing the destination and the end result or experience that Red Bull and consuming that beverage can lead to. Red Bull has invested in becoming a media company first, and then as a result, they can grow their business and their bottom line by selling their products because of the exposure and attention they've gained by investing in media first. Another brand is MailChimp. They are an email marketing software. So a software company investing in media, original branded content with video podcasts, audio podcasts, other training and entertainment style content to still provide value to their target audience of business owners and creators, yet doing so in a way that feels different. It helps them stand out, and it does. You may now be thinking of some of your favorite media companies that are not necessarily selling media or entertainment, but they're selling other products and services. They just happen to have media really skyrocket their exposure and attention. So think about how you can do this for yourself. How can you supply yourself with the right kind of content and media in a way that you can show up to your audience in a more entertaining and educational way? This is what it means to become a media company, is that you show up every single day to your target audience, delivering them a clear message, an impactful message, and a way for them to engage and love your brand, love hearing from you like it's their favorite TV show and their favorite characters. And then a byproduct of that is that they buy your products and services. In order for you to become a media company as an established business, then visit contentsupply.com to learn more about our services. We help you create a supply of content every single day to show up to your niche target audience, so that way they can engage, love you, and buy your products and services. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content just like this.